There is a question people ask every day, in passing without much thought, almost like a habit that no one really examines anymore, and that question is simple. How are you? And almost every time, the answer comes just as quickly. I'm fine. No pause, no reflection, no hesitation, just a response that feels automatic, practiced, and strangely distant from whatever is actually happening inside. Because the truth is, there are moments when that answer is not honest, and yet, it still feels easier to say it than to say anything real. And the strange part is, from the outside, nothing looks obviously wrong. You're still functioning, still showing up, still doing what you're supposed to do, still replying to messages, still going through your daily routine. And because of that, you convince yourself that you're fine. So today, we're going to talk about the 7 signs that you're not okay. And if you recognize yourself in these signs, it doesn't mean you're broken or beyond help. It just means it's time to stop pretending and start being honest about what you're actually going through. Sign number 1. You can't remember the last time you felt excited about anything. Think back over the past few weeks or even months and ask yourself this question. When was the last time you felt genuine excitement? The kind that makes your chest feel light and your mind race with anticipation. For many people who aren't okay, that feeling has become so rare that they can't even remember what it's like. And when they try to think of things they used to enjoy, those things feel distant now, like they belong to a different version of themselves that no longer exists. Sign number 2. You're exhausted no matter how much you sleep. You're going to bed at a reasonable hour, maybe even getting 8 or 9 hours of sleep, and yet you wake up feeling like you haven't rested at all, like you could sleep for another 12 hours and still feel this heavy, bone-deep fatigue that no amount of caffeine or willpower can shake. This isn't the normal tiredness that comes from a busy day or a poor night's sleep. This is the kind of exhaustion that makes every single task feel monumental, where brushing your teeth or making breakfast or responding to a text message requires an amount of energy you simply don't have. People around you might not understand it because from the outside you look fine, you're showing up. But they don't see the sheer force of will it takes for you to do even the most basic things. The way every action feels like you're moving through water, slow and resistant and utterly draining. Sign number 3. You're irritable and snapping at people for no real reason. You find yourself getting disproportionately angry at small things, things that normally wouldn't bother you, but now send you into an instant state of rage or frustration that feels completely out of your control. And afterwards, you feel guilty because you know your reaction was excessive. You know the person didn't deserve to be snapped at. But in the moment, it's like all your patience has evaporated and everything feels like too much. Like one more tiny inconvenience will make you completely unravel. This constant irritability is often a sign that you're emotionally depleted, that you've been holding it together for so long that there's nothing left in your tank to deal with even minor annoyances. And so they hit you with the full force of everything else you've been suppressing. Sign number 4. You're neglecting basic self-care and your space reflects it. Your living space has become chaotic in a way it wasn't before, and you know you should clean it. You know it's making you feel worse, but the thought of actually doing it feels so overwhelming that you just keep putting it off, and the mess keeps growing, and you keep feeling worse in this cycle that you can't seem to break. When you're not okay, the executive function part of your brain that handles planning and organization and follow-through starts to shut down, which is why tasks that used to be automatic now feel insurmountable, and why your environment becomes a physical manifestation of your internal state. You're not lazy, you're struggling, and the neglect of your space and your body is a symptom of that struggle, not a character flaw. If you look around your space and barely recognize it as yours, if basic self-care feels like a monumental effort, if you're living in a way that doesn't reflect who you are or how you want to live, that's a clear sign that you need to pause and acknowledge that you're not okay right now. Sign number 5. You're emotionally numb and nothing really makes you feel anything anymore. You're not sad exactly. You're not happy either. You're just existing in this flat, colorless state where everything feels distant and muffled, like you're wrapped in layers of emotional insulation that keep you from feeling anything too intensely. Someone tells you good news, and you know you're supposed to be happy for them, so you smile and say the right things, but inside there's nothing, no real joy, no emotional response, just the performance of caring. Someone tells you something sad, and you feel like you should cry or at least feel moved. But again, there's just this emptiness, this inability to connect with the emotion the way you know you used to be able to. Sign number 6. You're withdrawing from people and making excuses to avoid social interaction. You used to say yes to invitations. You used to enjoy spending time with friends. But lately, every social obligation feels like a burden, and you find yourself coming up with elaborate excuses to cancel plans, telling people you're sick or busy or tired, anything to avoid having to show up and pretend you're okay when you're not. And it's not that you don't care about these people. It's that the energy required to be around them, to make conversation, to act normal, feels completely beyond your capacity right now, and the thought of someone asking how you're doing and having to lie about it one more time makes you want to disappear entirely. Sign number 7. You're constantly thinking about escaping your life. You fantasize about just disappearing, about moving to a different city where no one knows you, about quitting your job and starting completely over, about getting on a plane and never coming back. And these aren't just idle daydreams. They're persistent thoughts that feel like the only thing that would make you feel better, like if you could just get away from everything and everyone and start fresh, then maybe you could finally breathe again. So here's what I want you to understand. Recognizing that you're not okay is not an admission of failure. It's an act of self-awareness and self-preservation. And it's the first necessary step toward actually feeling better. You've been strong for so long. You've been holding it together. You've been surviving. And that matters. But you don't have to just survive anymore. You're allowed to actually live, to feel things again, to find your way back to a version of yourself that feels present and connected and alive. And that journey starts with a simple, scary, necessary acknowledgement that right now you're not okay, and that's okay, because being not okay is not the end of your story. It's just the beginning of understanding what you need in order to heal. If you related to these signs, then deep down, something inside you is asking to be understood. And sometimes, it doesn't come out in words. It comes out in tears. There's a reason why some people cry more easily than others, and it's deeper than you think. If you want to understand that side of yourself, watch this video next. It might explain what you've been feeling all along.